Folks, are you tired of people telling you your band is too darn loud when you're just trying to practice in your house or garage? Well, if you live in Austin, I have the solution for you. That's Space Rehearsal and Recording. Space is a state-of-the-art affordable venue for rehearsal and recording, located just a few short miles south of downtown Austin. They have 31 spacious rooms, great PAs, fantastic courteous staff. They have everything you need to get your artistic business together at Space. Find them at 512-448-9518 or go to spaceatx.com and start playing as loud as you want in Space, Rehearsal, and Recording. Let's get down. Hey gang, are you new to this podcast? Have you subscribed on Spotify, Stitcher, or Apple Podcasts and realized that you can only access the 20 most recent shows on these platforms? Do you, my friend, want to binge on How Did I Get Here? Well, check out our archives that are available on the Podbean app. If you follow us on the Podbean app, we have every single show ever released on that platform. You'll also get all of your favorite shows like Fresh Air, WTF with Mark Maron, ID10T, the Michelle Obama podcast. All podcasts available there, and you can also access over 1,000 How Did I Get Here episodes. So, download the Podbean app from your app store and start listening today. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host,
All right, hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host, and welcome to the show. I hope you guys have all had a good week this week, getting stuff done, doing stuff. I'm doing this on Thursday, and I'm kind of like hitting the end of my rope. It's kind of the end of the day on Thursday, and I've kind of gotten to the end of my rope, and I feel like after I do this, I'm just going to go lay down for the rest of the night. I'm tired, man. That's what happens. Been going since I got back from California on Monday night. Got back late, went to this rehearsal Tuesday night, did a bunch of stuff on Tuesday. Wednesday had Skyrocket rehearsal. Then Terry and I went to this really cool thing on Wednesday night. Jackie Venson has a brand new album out called Love Transcends. It's a blues record. And she had a little event over at Pershing, which is a really cool private club place. She, just got a text from her dude, Louie, who's my pal as well. And it was great to get out there and see her. Great to see her play live. She played the record top to bottom with the band. There's all kinds of great people there. Tim Palmer produced the record. Got to see him. Haven't seen him in a long time. Saw the Black Fret dudes. Good to see them. Haven't seen them in a long time. Got to see Frenchie Smith, who I get to see from time to time, but always a joy to get to see him. Anyway, great running into a bunch of people I haven't seen. Oh, I saw the guys from Calliope Musicals. Yeah, it was really fun. It was a really fun event, and it was nice to see that music family all out doing the thing that we all do. Celebrating another musician doing a great thing. Jackie Venson, check out her album, Love Transcends. Fucking awesome. All right, gang, I have a great show for you guys today. Musician, singer, songwriter, a Twitch queen. I'll get to that in a second. Mandy Prater is my guest on the show. She has a brand new single out today. You can find it wherever it is you stream and download your jams. It's called On the Outside. Great song. You can find her at mandypratermusic.com. She's really awesome. She really is. She's a very cool person, all around huge talent. She's celebrating the release of this single On the Outside tomorrow, Saturday, October 23rd, here in Austin at the Three-Legged Goat, or Three-Legged Goat is what it's called. That's where her release party is. Also, she's doing Twitch. She does these Twitch shows. So she was the singer of the Misses for quite a few years, and then when lockdown came down, there wasn't really a lot that anybody could do, and everybody kind of went into their own thing. And what Mandy did was she went into doing shows on Twitch to the point where she has 3 shows a week. Monday at 5 p.m., Wednesday at 5 p.m., and Saturdays at 10 p.m. She plays on Twitch. She's got a Twitch. I'm not on Twitch, so I don't really know. It seems like, I talk to her a lot about it because it's pretty fascinating. It seems like it's a whole culture. It's a whole world in there. People are into it. You communicate with your fans. They can tell if you're Twitch savvy or not. That's why I'm scared to go on there. I'm scared to go on there because I feel like I'm going to do it wrong and I'm going to get yelled at by Twitch people. And I don't want to get yelled at, man. I don't. Anyway, this song On the Outside, she did it with this guy, Jason Richard. Great song. She also released another single during the pandemic called Keep Calm. She released it in 2020 in August of 2020. There's a great video for it. Anyway, live streaming on Twitch. That's what Mandy Prater's been doing a lot of, and playing a lot of solo shows and getting out there and doing stuff. I wonder if she's going to put together a band. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Always great catching up with my old friend Mandy Prater. Check out her new song, On the Outside. Available today. Go to mandypratermusic.com for all of your Mandy Prater needs. And without further ado, please enjoy me and Mandy chatting it up right here on How Did I Get Here? Let's get down.
No bars on these windows, but I've been locked away. And I just had this feeling I need to escape. I don't know if there's something wrong, but nothing's really right.
Thanks for letting me know.
I'm doing good on this today, aren't I? I just became your manager, like just real weird
know.
stealth way. You can just Venmo me my 15%.
Stalker / manager.
Well, I had to stalk you.
I guess I should look at my schedule.
Well, I mean, look, I can talk about it in the intro and the outro.
Do you know when? You're absolutely right. I am playing at Ski Shores.
Yeah.
Also, the Three-Legged Go is going to
Three-Legged
be
Go.
my release party.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What is the Three-Legged Goat?
It is a wine bar / beer and cider bar in downtown Pflugerville.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it across the street from, what do you call it?
It's around the corner from Hanover's.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like right in that little area. And then Red Rooster. There's like Red Rooster and Hanover's on these streets. And then the cross street, Pecan is where they are. So it's like three and kind of in a little square.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing there. I know that guy from my political stuff, the owner. And
What political stuff?
Oh, so I'm pretty active in like the local Democratic Party. Like I'm a precinct chair for my area.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do you do?
Well, you kind of help organize your precinct. You try to get out the vote in your precinct. You vote on county level endorsements and stuff like that. You a lot of times the local party will make resolutions in supporting or not supporting certain things city council's doing or certain things that the legislature is trying to do, and we'll vote on those so that we can say, we're kind of the ones that say what the, county level party supports.
I mean, hasn't it been freaky the last couple of years? Is that why you got involved?
Yeah, I actually got involved. I was very inspired by Wendy Davis's filibuster in the State House, which was in 2013. And when I found out she was going to run for governor, I joined her campaign and was like sort of a local field organizer. Like I had like 11 precincts in town that I was kind of in charge of helping to campaign in for Wendy. And I just got really inspired by the whole process. So then I kind of joined a local club and Northeast Travis County Democrats. And I eventually became the vice president of it. And so like that's kind of my side thing. And I've kind of kept it a little bit of a low profile with that just because, we're in Texas and as a musician, sometimes people are always telling you, just shut up and sing. But, it's...
you didn't. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. But I don't push that side of my life, like, publicly, like, a whole lot. But I definitely am really active and, donate and make phone calls and knock on doors and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Have you ever gotten any kind of like weird backlash? Like, oh, I'm not going to listen to your songs anymore.
Times.
Really?
A couple times I have, yeah, especially during this last election cycle. And I have pulled way back, Facebook posts and stuff. Like I don't go overboard too much with that kind of stuff. But
would they come out after you just simply because that you're supporting what they hate? What's trying to kill them?
I think so. This one guy was like just commented on one of my Facebook posts. He was somebody that was enough of a fan of mine and had watched my weekly online shows and stuff to the point where when he friend requested me, I accepted the friend request because I thought he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the post was about exactly. I think it was probably during the like Capitol riots or something. And he said something and I was like, quit trolling my page, Bob.
Yeah.
And he wrote me this thing like, I guess you don't care that, being a musician,
Right.
You should care about, and I was just like, I do care, and I'm not and music's supposed to bring people together, not divide people, and that's why I kind of try to keep them a little bit separate. But there's sometimes where I feel like if you don't say something, you're a part of the problem.
Yeah.
So
I got some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just from saying stuff in the intro or just the way I would refer to things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's interesting, but for the most part, like when I do my Twitch shows, it's pretty much a politics-free zone.
Yeah.
And it's
that's another thing too, is like, there's part of me is like, I get it. That can kill the vibe of like a show.
Well, especially if you're doing a live stream and people are live chatting in the comments, you don't want it to turn into an argument in the comments during your show.
Right.
And it's just a distraction.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one cool thing. I mean, I've always enjoyed music for the fact that, if you're a fan of Led Zeppelin, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or a Boogaloo boy or whatever, you can all come together over that, common ground.
Yeah.
So
rock riffs unite.
Yes.
Don't they?
They do. They truly do.
Speaking of cool riffs, man, this song "Keep Calm." And by the way, did you shoot that video? And you did. You're doing all this stuff yourself.
I've been doing a lot of stuff by myself, especially during this crazy pandemic time. Yeah, I just set up my iPhone and shot a video and edited it on my phone.
That's unbelievable.
Because I hate using at the time I just had iMovie on my computer, and I was like, I hate this. I like the app better than the desktop version.
Is that what you did in the iMovie app?
Yeah.
Hang on, just give me 1 second. I'm going to let
okay.
this crying. All right, I'm going to let you out, but you're going to have to act normal. I mean, she was trying to, no. No.
Hey, stay down.
No.
I almost feel like if you put her bed right here, that she would chill right here.
Why don't you chill?
I don't know,
Okay.
but...
There you go. Yeah, you chill there.
Yeah, come here.
When you asked if you needed to prepare anything for it, I should have said you prepare yourself for Rosie.
Bring dog nip.
Rosie?
I think she likes me, so
Yeah.
I
think she does like you.
you.
So, I mean, this is what you've done is you've started this live stream thing on Twitch and having like a community for people to get into your stuff together. And when you were talking to me about this new song on the outside that people had, you kind of test marketed it,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So I joined. Kind of long story long. I joined a songwriting group about 2 years ago, and 2.5 years ago. And the rules of the songwriting group, it was a Facebook-based songwriting group, and most of the members are around the Central Texas area. And Aaron Lacombe, who's a songwriter who plays around Texas a lot, started it, and he's a great songwriter. He would come up with a topic every 2 weeks for us with parameters like use these 5 words, or put a color in your song, or do this kind of melody or something. And so we would all have to write a song. It would be due on Tuesday night at midnight.
Right.
And if you didn't do it, you were kicked out of the group.
Hang on, were you close up on that mic?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you'd get kicked out of the group if you didn't participate in, submitting your song on time. So for almost 2 years, I wrote a song every 2 weeks. And on the outside was one that I wrote. I actually wrote it like a couple weeks before I wrote Keep Calm during pandemic. And I started playing it on my live streams, and I was like, yeah, that song's okay. But the response in my live streams, people just loved it. I think they really just related to the topic because it was kind of just about feeling stuck at home during pandemic and dreaming about getting out and doing normal things. So, they started requesting it a lot. And when I started doing more of the Twitch streams, it became the most requested song on my whole song list. And so they were like, everybody was like, where can I buy this song? And I was like, well, I haven't recorded it yet. So they basically crowdfunded a recording for me. And so I finally was able to do it this summer. And now it's about to come out. So super excited about that.
You should be. It's really good. I was waiting. I thought you were going to keep going. It's really good. And who's the guy you recorded it with?
Justin Richard is his name. And he was really great. It was just the kind of person I was looking for. He helped me just sort of flesh out the arrangement, and we kind of have the same influences growing up. We're about the same age, so there was a lot of musical common ground there with, references and stuff that we both knew.
Right.
So that was really super helpful. And plus he plays like all kinds of instruments too. So and then he just moved to Michigan actually, which was a kind of a bummer, but finished it remotely and just got it mixed and mastered. So it's going to be out really soon.
Yeah. It'll be out October 22nd.
Correct.
I think this podcast, what day of the week that is?
It's a Friday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I could put it out that day.
Oh.
That way people could go right to it.
That'd
right?
be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that works. Publicists really like you to do it like,
when it's
make sure it's
available.
like 2 weeks. No. They're like, oh, no. Do it like 3 weeks before. And you're like, people are going to forget by then.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
I think that's when I hear interviews and I hear it's already out, and then it's like the excitement of, I could go look it up right now makes more sense to me too.
So let's go back to this Twitch thing as well.
Right.
Okay. So you're performing 3 times a week.
Yes.
Monday and Wednesday are 5 p.m. Central Time.
I've got my happy hour shows on Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday night I start around 10 p.m. unless I have a live gig, then I might start a little later. But
how long is that Saturday night one?
This Saturday it was kind of crazy. This past Saturday I played at the Three-Legged Goat in Pflugerville, did a 3-hour gig, and then I came home and started at midnight and went till about 3:30 in the morning. So they're usually about 3-hour shows. But
like Bruce Springsteen or something.
It's that just made my day.
Do you have to go to the bathroom or something?
Sometimes I take bathroom breaks because you got to stay hydrated. But it's cool because I've got, my broadcast software. I have little videos, including like the Keep Calm video and other stuff saved in there. So I can just flip the channel and play a 3 or 4 minute song video, go to stretch my legs and go to the bathroom and get more water or whatever and come back. Do
you play different songs every time? Like, what do you do?
So it's cool. There's a lot of integrated programs that, it's a huge just thing. It's kind of daunting when you first join it because there's like so many different aspects and things that you have to set up to compete with the people that are serious about it. And
it's like its own, like you're talking about it like it's its own like. It's its own world. It's its own subculture.
It really is. Besides the huge, and music is just a tiny corner of Twitch. Most of it's gaming.
Right.
And then you have the hot tub streams and stuff like
What's
that. But there's streams on there where it's just usually a girl, sometimes a guy, sitting in a hot tub, and people watch it and they'll talk to you and you talk back. Or there's streams where people sleep. They'll just put the video live and they sleep, and people like give them money and stuff while they're sleeping for hours. They'll do like an 8-hour sleep stream. There'll be like 40 people watching. It's crazy. So I haven't delved into that side of it, but I stick to the music mostly. But there's this program.
What happened to the world, Mandy? Like, what happened to the world? I went out with this girl a couple of years ago, and her sister had like I guess an OnlyFans thing, and would film herself peeing.
Oh my God. I believe it.
And she made like
I believe it. People have asked me to do some weird stuff. Nothing like that. It's usually more like touch your elbows together or something, but
that's weird. Oh, I see. It's like, okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so but anyway, there's an integrated place where you can upload your song list. So I have like, I don't know, 180 songs or something in my list, and then there's commands you can type into the chat, and it will give you a link to my song list, and you can go click a button and request that song, and then it goes into my queue in order of request order. There, and then I have an overlay on my screen where you see the next 3 songs that are about to be played, and so you can see what's coming up, and if you donate $5 or $20 or something, your song gets moved to the top of the list. So there's all different kinds of things you can do. And
is it like a cryptocurrency that it works? Why am I asking so many questions about how Twitch works?
It's a very interesting world. So there's different ways you can donate money through a PayPal link or a Venmo link, but the most popular way is there's a Twitch currency that's called bits, and 1 bit equals 1 cent, and people will go buy like, I don't know, 2,000 bits at a time or something, which is like $25 to buy it, and then you can give that money to the streamer that you're watching, and so that's a popular way to donate or tip the people that you're watching on there.
Yeah. And do you, I mean, I saw that Keep Calm has a 42,000 streams. That's
something like
respectable.
That. Yeah.
For an independent artist.
Thanks.
I mean, that's actually really good.
Especially my Twitch people and my people that have been with me since even before I started Twitch, when I was just doing my weekly Facebook stream called Free Parking.
You still do that?
Yeah, I still do it, but I've kind of moved it to the Saturday night Twitch thing, but I will do Free Parkings. I've decided to transition that into when I do a real life show.
Okay.
I'll stream that on Facebook.
Okay.
Because it's more forgiving about not interacting with the crowd as much, whereas on Twitch, it's almost demanded that you respond to comments and stuff. And if I'm doing a live gig, I want to respect the venue and the people that are live at the venue, and I'll occasionally look over and say hi to the people on the screen, but I try not to make it too distracting for the people that are there. But I've got people in New York and, Ventura and all different kinds of places in Boston that want to watch me even when I'm live in Austin. So I still at least put it on. But it's fun. I
feel like I gotta stop asking questions about it, because it seems so. It sounds scary to me.
It can be like there's a lot. There's a big. I mean, there's trolls. The first time you get a troll, it can throw you off. It can throw off your whole day. But then you kind of get used to it. And there's also something that's very, very. A huge part of Twitch is the moderators. Any channel that's, got more than 5 or 10 viewers per stream has probably got at least one person moderating it for them. And I have really good mods, and they'll bounce a troll out, ban them, and, I won't even see the comment. So that's really cool. And also there's settings you can put yourself that ban certain words or that, types of behavior. So, but yeah, it can also be scary in that people feel like they know you.
Right. Yeah.
And I've actually had, someone who was kind of turned into a stalker, and they were actually arrested for it. I shouldn't laugh. It's not really funny, but, yeah,
I feel like it was more of a nervous laugh.
Yeah, somebody who lives in another country, and I had to talk to the police in their country, and
Jesus.
they were arrested because they would not stop emailing me. They wouldn't stop making fake accounts and coming into my stream.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of stuff. And it was just really distracting and kind of
Was-
traumatic,
right.
actually.
Well, I feel like that whole lockdown thing magnified whatever sort of loneliness people were experiencing, and delusion can probably get a little
For real.
stronger.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the lines are blurred, especially in, you know, you're a broadcaster, you do your podcast, but you're not responding in real time to the people that are listening to you.
No,
you
I'm not.
know, and so their connection with you is, though I'm sure they love listening to you and they're used to you and they are regulars and listen to your podcast a lot.
Yeah.
They're not getting feedback and encouragement from you the same way that somebody does from a live streamer who
Right.
in real time says, "Oh, thank you so much for that, you know, tip," or "Oh, thanks for the comment on my song," or
Sure.
whatever. And it is relationships. And 99% of the people that watch are great people. I always say that some of the best music fans on the world are on Twitch. They're so supportive. There are a lot of people that are tech savvy type of people that have, you know, computer jobs. They work from home, you know, and they just like that world. It's comfortable because you can be kind of an introvert but still have online friends.
Yeah.
And so many great things come from it. So I don't want to focus on the negative too much, but it's definitely part of it.
Right. There was one time that I had quit smoking that didn't make it. And I was at Seaboys and I went outside and smoked. And this lady got up and walked over to me and was like, "Guys, really letting me down." And like, I was like, I don't even know.
Because you were smoking?
Fuck is your problem,
Or-
lady? But I talked about it on my podcast and it gave her the courage to quit.
Oh,
And then there I was smoking. And it was someone I didn't know, but she was mad.
Wow.
Like she was mad at me.
wow.
And just like she went back over to her place and just kept on looking at me like, just really disappointed in you.
Man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So I know you from Joe Hummel's rad party years,
Yes.
or whenever we used to be invited to his parties.
Yeah.
And I always thought you were cool, and I can't remember how I heard your music, but I've always thought of you as like a musician person.
Thanks. That's kind of how I think of myself too. I've been, you know, playing music full time for about 8 years now. Before that, I was bartending and, you know, waiting tables and doing different kinds of cover bands. I mean, I've always kind of done 2 or 3 bands at a time, and yeah, so it's definitely my life, I would say.
Yeah. It's funny because you were on the show before.
Yeah.
With the missus.
Right.
And you were the reason. And there was a video where someone talked to a box. And then it was difficult for me to justify. I mean, just sheerly out of the dedication that I've put into my work my whole
Right.
life, that somebody goes like, "I'm bored, let's start a band." And, you know, it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, in some ways, on paper, that's super offensive to somebody like me.
I
right?
totally could understand that.
Meeting them and all that stuff. But when you joined, they had Juice had sent me a thing, and I was like, nah. And then they asked again, which they do.
Right.
Sometimes
yeah.
they're like, "Come on, man! Like, what's wrong?" Like, you know? So when they came back, then I read through the thing, and I was like, "Oh, Mandy's in it." So they got a person that's a real. Not, I don't mean they're not real music, but somebody who's put in the hours.
Right. Yeah. And to be fair, like I have a lot of respect for anybody who
So do I.
picks up a hobby or whatever it is later in life, when, you know, like I had unlimited hours to sit on my bed when I was 15 and play guitar. But
Right.
if you're a mom with kids and, you know, like learning an instrument, I think a lot of people who do try learning instruments later in life, it's really hard to find the time.
Yeah.
But, you know,
And
We all worked pretty hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, and the thing is for me to clarify this is that's just in my mind. That's you know what I mean. That's my own problem.
Is a lot too. Perception matters, and perception is how other people see you is
Right.
can be a big part of your success or your not success.
Yes, and after that, I went and saw you guys. We did a show together that you guys invited me to do that thing during South by Southwest, the Kindness
Palooza. Yeah.
Kindness Palooza.
That's
and
right.
so anyway, so what I was getting at with that is that maybe I've known you like 10 years or something.
Probably 9 or 10 years, something like that. Yeah.
All right, so where do you come from? Like, where were you born?
I grew up and was born in a small town in northeastern Indiana called Kendallville, population like 7,000, something like that. And it's about 40 miles from Ohio and 40 miles from Michigan up in the corner. So, somewhere that's a good, safe place to grow up until the meth starts coming in. But then, somewhere that you...
Did you get caught up in meth?
No, not at all.
Oh.
But a lot of kids who stayed there did.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, I just always knew that I wanted to, go somewhere to a bigger city or somewhere that was more tolerant of people that didn't stay inside of a box, basically.
So you were weird.
Oh, yeah.
And you were kind of ostracized.
A little bit.
Or,
I mean, I'm sure that everybody feels a little bit bullied or ostracized at times in school, but I was kind of a nerd. I mean, I did really, really well in school, but at some point around 7th grade, I was just kind of like, I'm out. Like, I'm done trying to do the be popular thing. And, so that was around the time that I discovered Nirvana, and, the grunge thing was huge, and just started wanting to be a guitar player and start a band. And so I started my first band when I was in like 8th grade with my best friend who played bass.
Me too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, so we did some Nirvana and Hole and Green Day covers and wrote our own songs. And
what were those like?
They were terrible.
Did they match the Nirvana in some way?
Oh, totally, kind of. Yeah. I mean,
Did you
I remember,
sing?
Yeah.
What did you sing like?
I sang.
Did you have a nice voice? Were you trying to sound like?
No. Well, I was also a choir kid.
Okay.
So, I mean, and we had a really good choir teacher in middle school that ended up also being the high school choir teacher, and I give her a lot of credit. I'm no Kelly Clarkson or anything, but I could sing and, do harmonies and stuff like that by the time I was, 10 or 11. And of course I would also sit in my room and sing along to En Vogue and TLC and Fleetwood Mac and, all that for hours and hours, and sing each girl's part and then sing a different part. So,
was your band all female?
It was me, my friend Kristen, who played bass, and her mom had been a bass player too. And then this guy that she was dating, Chad, he was a couple years older than us, and he was the drummer. So we were like a 3-piece. And we even went and did this talent show, and we played About a Girl by Nirvana. But we got beat by this 7 and 8-year-old Sonny and Cher impersonation thing, of course, because we were weird and had, purple hair and stuff. And it was a small town in Indiana. So, but it was great. Our first gig was at the Glass Blowers Union for a 13th birthday party. So...
They're unionized glassblowers?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of there's a lot of manufacturing in northern Indiana, right. And it was like a lot of windshield manufacturers and stuff like that.
Okay.
for cars and stuff.
So what did your parents do? Like, what did they do? And what did they think you were weird? Did they want you to have a band, or were they like, "Oh, Mandy, come on, be a cheerleader"?
Well, a little bit of both. I think my parents are really young, and so when I was a kid, my dad worked at a car dealership. He was a mechanic, and then later, by the time I was in high school, he actually became a teacher. So until still to this day, he teaches vocational auto mechanics in the local like tri-county school, kind of vocational school for high schoolers.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then my mom just retired, but she worked in a factory for most of her life, from the time I was like in kindergarten till about 2 years ago. She went from, cleaning the machines. It's okay. By the way, this factory, I worked at it. Almost everybody in my town has worked at it. It's owned by Kraft Foods, or whatever they call it when it gets bought and sold every 2 years. But they make all the marshmallows for all the cereals. And they make the giant Kraft marshmallows and the ones you put in your hot chocolate. And so
they make those little hard marshmallows.
Like the Lucky Charms marshmallows and
yeah.
stuff. Oh, as a kid, one of the best perks of my mom's job was she would bring home like a garbage bag full of marshmallows. And we'd just, instead of buying Lucky Charms, we'd just put them on our Cheerios. It was the best.
Man, that's amazing.
They do have a shelf life, but that was one perk. So she worked her way up from cleaning the marshmallow machines all the way up to R&D, and she would actually bring home. There's a new Lucky Charms marshmallow, and we got to see it before anybody else did. Or check out this leprechaun. Now it's like they didn't have leprechauns in the Lucky Charms when we were kids, but now they do.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
So that was the thing. So if you didn't get out of there,
right,
then you were gonna either.
Yeah, so it was and especially my parents, becoming parents really young, kind of, they had to just do something to
survive,
and make a living for their kids. And they were really hard workers, and I tip my hat to both of them, but it was always like, get an education, do something you love, don't get stuck, doing.
Yeah, don't get stuck at the marshmallow place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I got really good grades. I went to a really good college.
What college?
I got into a really good college, University of Chicago. And that's where I met Anthony, and we're still together. But after about 2 years, and I was doing pretty well, competing with these kids that came from hoity-toity private schools, and all that kind of stuff, which was a little bit fish out of water, but I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I just want to play music, and it was an expensive school, and I felt like I was wasting my parents' money in a way, because the working class myth about college is you go to college to learn a job that you're going to make good money at. Yeah. And I mean, not that it's a myth, but it can be for some people,
But that's what a lot of people want their kids to go to school for.
And for parents that, at the time, like, hadn't gone to college, like, they didn't understand, like, it's not much easier to become a lawyer or something than it is to be a successful musician if you don't have people shepherding you through the process.
So were you playing in Chicago?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a duo called Case of Fire. I was a college.
Who was the other person?
This girl Anna, who's actually from Texas. She played violin, and I let her play my bass, and she learned how to play bass. And we just played around at little shows.
Were they your
on
songs?
Campus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were. Some of them were mine, and some of them were hers. And then we also did some covers and stuff. And we put out a CD, an EP called Incineration, our first year, and got played on the local college radio and stuff. And I was a college radio DJ too, so that was fun. Had my like 4 to 6 a.m. show in the rock format. But
what were you playing? Did you?
I played all kinds of stuff. I didn't have a really well developed like particular aesthetic. I would play everything from Captain Beefheart to Billy Idol on my show. So, but it was fun. I've always been a big classic rock fan, just from listening growing up, and so I would do a lot of that kind of stuff too. But yeah, we played around in college, and then I went to so I decided to leave the U of C, and I went to a school in Arizona for audio engineering called the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences.
Oh, awesome.
So, because that was kind of my compromise.
To your parents?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll go learn something that's more relevant to my field.
Right.
And it was cool. I'm really glad I did it, because especially as a female in music, sometimes people kind of assume that you know nothing.
Yeah.
And it's helpful to at least have the language.
Yeah.
To communicate, as far as EQing and different kind of things.
Well, also, you know what I've noticed? I don't think that, at least even in I'm older than you, but even down to your level, and even, or to your generation, and even younger, there's nobody buys a girl like an erector set when she's a kid. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
No one,
Yeah, I mean, I think now that's changing, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
Like the STEM stuff that they're doing for girls specifically, and all kids, obviously, it's important. But yeah, you're not really encouraged. I mean, I started making multi-track recordings using my karaoke machine when I was like eighth grade or something. Because that's all I had,
right.
But
how did you think you were? Because I remember when I had a boombox, and I also had a cassette adapter for my 8-track in my stereo.
Oh, cool!
So I thought I invented this like when I was a kid. But I would do like, I can't really can add this other guitar part, but if I just strum and sing, and then I play it behind me, then I can add some little things in here when I play it back, and then put the boombox in front of me with a new tape. You know what I mean?
The level of degradation like gets pretty bad pretty fast, but
it's pretty inventive. You know what I mean? Like you had to figure out how to do that. No one told me how to do it.
No, yeah, you just had something you wanted to do, and you just figured out a way to sort of accomplish it.
You got to do it.
Yeah. So science, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just that just shows like sort of the you see it in people, and you sense it in people that that's what I was saying. Like, even though I hadn't seen you play music, and I don't see your thing, I get like you can smell it on, you know what I mean? Like, you know a lifer when you meet one.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. This is, I mean, I knew since I was 4 or 5 that I wanted to do music. Like, as soon as I saw Madonna on TV, I knew I wanted to do music. So, maybe before that even.
So you and Anthony moved here together?
Yes.
When?
We were actually living in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina happened.
Ugh.
Yeah, so we evacuated to here with our 2 cats, with whatever stuff we brought in the car, thinking, okay, we'll go ride out this storm in Austin. We stayed at the Austin Motel on South Congress. It was our first time here, really, hanging out. So we got to check out the city for a couple days, but then we watched our neighborhood get flooded on national TV. And we were like, okay, well, talk to the landlord. National Guard's not going to let us back in the neighborhood for like a month. So we went and back to the Midwest and spent some time with our families, which was kind of a silver lining, to get to know each other's families a little bit better and stuff, and see some of the people we hadn't seen from living, in the South for a couple years at that point. And but then we decided we were gonna, once we found out that we didn't really have a place to go back home to in New Orleans, we just decided to move to Austin. So, and we had kind of had a plan to maybe move here eventually in the next couple years anyway, so it kind of just accelerated that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had heard that this was a good place for live music and stuff, so And then as soon as I moved here, I joined like 2 bands within like a month or 2, and have been playing.
Where were you playing? Because they were cover bands.
Yeah,
that
they
you
were
joined.
cover
Okay.
bands. Yeah. We were living out in Copeland, actually, which is about 45 minutes to an hour outside of town here. We rented a little house. We didn't realize how far it was from Austin.
Yeah.
So
Did you do it online or something?
yeah, we sight unseen. We rented this house and we're like, 25 miles? That's not bad. Because we'd been spending time in the Midwest and everything is 25 miles in the Midwest. Right. So it was like, that's like half an hour. No, not down those winding country roads. And, but it was kind of cool. I had a job at the Copeland Inn and Dance Hall for a couple months. So that was my introduction into the dance hall world and the barbecue world. And so that was pretty cool.
I love barbecue.
Me too. I didn't know how much I loved barbecue till I moved to Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
So the first album that you put out, the EP, Those Days.
Yeah.
That's your first solo album. Because you had
Yes.
done something with the duo that you had.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had the bandmate in college, and yeah, that was my first.
And you
solo
recorded,
album.
And mixed and mastered.
Yeah, I did it all. Played all the instruments. Some of the songs are more acoustic, but there's a couple songs with drums and bass and electric guitar and kazoo and tambourine and all kinds of stuff.
What did you record on?
I had a Korg D16, which
16
is
track?
yeah,
Yeah.
and digital, and then I ran that into GarageBand and finished mixing it in GarageBand, and had a Rode mic and a 57 or something, and that was pretty much just recorded it in our spare bedroom in our apartment that we had at the time. So it was a lot of work. I enjoy the recording process, but I enjoy the playing part of it more than the engineering part of it. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. So, but
No.
But it's very DIY, that EP, but I'm still proud of it. I still listen to it. People still buy it. I've got some of my regulars on Twitch say they listen to it in their car every day, that have bought it from my Bandcamp site. I've printed it 3 times. So people still like it, even though it's very DIY.
What bands are you singing with now? Too?
Mainly Finger Pistol,
right,
which is a great honky tonk country band. They do a lot of classic country, and also Dan Hardick, the leader of the band, writes a lot of great songs. So
do you guys play at the White Horse?
Yeah, the White Horse about once a month or so. Sagebrush, and there's a Tuesday night residency at the Little Longhorn that's been going on for 4 or 5 years now.
And you do all those shows?
No, I don't play. I'm kind of the backup or the sub or the alternate singer. Meg Bodie is the singer. She's been with them for 7 or 8 years. But I'll do like a couple shows, like one a month or something with them, or whenever Meg needs to be somewhere else, or but it's a lot of fun. They're just great guys.
I was trying to figure out how on the outside, on the outside, it's your other songs have like an indie sort of like underground trip to them, and this is like overtly like grab you by the lapels, like, this is a pop country song.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I
Yeah.
don't know where it came from. I think it might have been partly influenced from playing with Finger Pistol.
That's what I was going to say.
Although
is
they
what-
tend more towards Bakersfield style country, the way Dan writes. But, I listened to a lot of country in the past couple of years, learning songs to play with them. And, a lot of my growing up, kind of a roots rock vibe. Like I, grew up listening to John Mellencamp and Tom Petty and bands like that.
The early part of your life is like the first verse of a John Cougar Mellencamp song.
It totally is. It totally is. Yeah. So, and he's from Indiana too. So, yeah, I think partly, the songwriting group that I was doing, I was writing a lot of songs, and it started to just become stream of consciousness. And when I wrote the song, I was just like, I'm not going to fight what I feel like this song wants to say, and I'm going to do what the song feels like it needs to do. And, I sometimes am like, feel like I have an identity crisis of the songs that I write, because there are different styles. But when people listen to them all together, they're like, no, that sounds like you. So I'm like, okay, maybe they sound more different to me than they do to other people. But you're absolutely right. The On the Outside is kind of an outlier, especially production wise, of the stuff that I've released so far. I think that when I release, a few more songs, it might sort of start to show the world that it lives in might kind of encompass all of that. But I feel like I kind of have not to compare myself to any particular artist, but the vibe could kind of live in like a Sheryl Crow kind of world or a Tom Petty kind of world. And a lot of the stuff that I write could kind of be there, but they're not all big production, full band productions in my head. So
you're in this songwriting group, you write a song every week?
Well, I actually recused myself from the group last winter because I just didn't feel like I had anything else in me for a while, and I was getting really busy playing with Twitch, and the stuff that was going on in this country and the election and everything just had me stressed out, and I couldn't really focus on writing anymore. So I did it for about 2 years. I wrote about 50 songs.
Shit, that's great, man.
Many of which will never see the light of day.
Sure.
But it's good practice.
It's great.
You
Because finishing it and the accountability to finish it is I think that's the purpose of those, because I do them too.
Yeah.
The purpose of them isn't to be great,
right?
Or what it's to finish,
right? But it builds your songwriting muscles.
It does build your, and you have to have those when
It helps you then when you do have a song that you are like, this one's pretty good. I think I'll take this one somewhere.
I feel like the more you write, the more you write.
Yeah.
The less you write, the less you write.
Right. Well, and
the harder it is too.
And it's hard to find that discipline because it's not easy. I mean, some songs feel like they came out of nowhere, but other songs you just wrestle with, and if you don't feel so-called inspired to write something, it's work sometimes to come up with something that doesn't feel just forced.
I think Neil Young said that the inspiration comes to him when he's sitting down working on music.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a work up inspiration.
Yeah.
It comes to me when I'm sitting down working on music.
Yeah.
So this single will come out. Do you have other ones kind of in the pipeline?
Yeah, I have some other demos I've been working on for maybe doing an EP next year, hopefully. I have a lot of unreleased songs that are kind of in the backlog. So I'm excited to get some more of those out.
Well, On the Outside is great. People can check that out. And also, I suggest that they go check out Keep Calm. It's such a great song.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You should put out more.
I plan to.
Is that what your Twitch people say?
Yeah. Oh, they're always harassing me. They're always like, when can we buy this song? When are you going to record this? Do
you think they'll listen to this podcast?
I think they will.
Some.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
I'm
Twitch
Johnny.
People.
I'm not on Twitch because I'm old and scared of it.
They call themselves the Mandy Lorians.
That is cool.
Somebody came up with that name and it stuck.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah, they're
Mandy
awesome.
Lorian.
They're awesome. They've gotten me through the pandemic in more than one way.
Hey guys,
So, yeah.
I'm not on Twitch, but we're here. We should have live Twitched this.
You totally
we would have
could.
had to interact the whole time.
There's people that do their podcasts on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally could.
I feel like I feel like what's going to happen to me in Twitch is what happened to me when I went in Reddit.
Oh, which was
They're
what?
like, get out of here. You don't even know what you're doing.
Really?
Yeah.
I think people are pretty welcoming on Twitch, but there is a little bit of probably of protectiveness of the culture because I've seen musicians come in and not really respect
Right.
the way the culture works.
Right.
And it's offended me at times because I'm like, don't just come in here thinking you're going to make a whole bunch of money, but not pay any attention to your community or the people that are supporting you. Like, it doesn't work that way. I mean, and that's the same in the real world too. I mean, people aren't entitled to fans. You have to earn them and nurture them and give back, give them a reason to want to support you.
Yeah. I can't believe you play 3 hours. That's a long time.
Sometimes I've done as much as 6 on one stream. There's this thing that happens on Twitch where you get put on what's called the front page, and it's basically the homepage of Twitch. And so you got to take advantage of it. Yeah. So I would go, because I had 4,000 people, 9,000 people watching at once. And so I just stayed on until the crowd died down. And I had almost 200,000 views on one stream. Oh, so, wow. Yeah, it can get really crazy. And then it hypes up your audience. Your own, that's there. Yeah. And it's really fun. Yeah. People can find you at mandypratermusic.com. Correct. There's links to everything there. You're actually playing live in person Saturday, October 25th at the Three-Legged Goat. Yes. That is your release. 23rd. 23rd. Why did I put 25th? You know why? Because maybe you just can't read your own writing. No. That's maybe your thing says the 25th. Maybe your website. I better check about that. I better check that. But yes, we're gonna have a little single a little single release party at the Three-Legged Goat. I play there every month, but this is gonna be a little bit of a special show, and they've got a new enlarged stage out on their back deck, so it's gonna be a fun time. Is that the place where people still smoke? You can smoke outside there. Oh, outside. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about? There's that one place that has one side of the room people are just smoking. Is that like Hanover's? No, or the Red Rooster? Yeah, maybe? That's the one maybe. Yeah, I went in there for karaoke once. Yeah, but it's around the corner from Hanover's and the Red Rooster. It's a really nice little spot, and they have they focus on Texas beer and wine. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Mandy, what's your go-to karaoke? Yeah. Sweet Child of Mine, or Sheryl Crow style, or no, Guns N' Roses style. Okay. Or but speaking of Sheryl Crow, I like doing Favorite Mistake by Sheryl Crow. That's a great song. Yeah. Or Criminal by Fiona Apple. Those are 3 that I like. Classic doing. 90s. Or some Heart, Yeah. These Dreams. I like Barracuda, or I've done Alone, or those are probably some of my faves. How about you? My go-tos? Yeah. Stuff like What a Feeling from Flashdance. Really? Yeah, awesome. And I do songs in keys that are not right for me. So I'm really, really bad. It's a weird improvisational acting exercise for me, awesome. Because I used to go to this Baby Acapulco, and do you remember that girl Jessie I went out with? She had red hair. She was hanging out at Joe Hummel's. Maybe, yeah. There too all the time. Okay, so we used to go up there and have margaritas, and then I would be like, I'm gonna sing. Should I sing? And she'd be like, no, man. And then people go no, you get up there and sing. And she'd be like, you don't understand. This guy's really bad. And so then I would go up and be really bad. That's awesome. But I would give so much in the performance that people would a lady got up and hugged me one night. She was like, you did it. You sounded just fine. Oh my God. Yeah. I love that. That's wow. It's like a weird great. Andy Kaufman thing. Yes. I wanted people to feel sorry for me and then proud of me at the same time. I love that. That's great. What's your favorite Heart song? My favorite Heart song might be Crazy on You. Yeah, people like that song. Yeah, or Never. I really like Never too. Yeah. You know who wrote that? Holly Knight. Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I like her. That. Yeah, the 80s songs are the other people writing. Yeah, they're too busy doing other stuff to
Well, it's funny.
right at that point.
I talked to Nancy about that for this weird thing for a fundraiser. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because you think of a song like Crazy on You. Did we already talk about this?
I don't know.
How they have their song structures were weird.
Oh yeah,
Like they were real weird.
especially
And then all of
the
a sudden
70s stuff. Yeah,
right, they were owned. Like when they stopped writing their songs, then their songs were normal and they kind of lost this like odd, like they were just put together weird.
What? No 2-minute synth solos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Like why is that solo section in Magic Man like so long?
And I love that song. Actually, that might actually be my favorite one to sing. But yeah, it is really like, what are you doing? It's kind of like Sticks or something.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, yeah, Heart's great. And Ann Wilson's one of my favorites.
Sticks or something.
I mean, it is right, but
Dude,
like, yeah.
I talked to those guys, to one of the guys.
You did?
Uh-huh, to James J.Y. Young, just
cool.
recently. Yeah, it was good. They're coming.
Oh,
Yeah, they just put out a new album. And like,
Really?
if you hear it, it would blow your mind how much it sounds like Sticks. Like you're just
Cool.
like, wow, these dudes sound exactly like themselves.
that's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're still kicking it.
yeah.
Awesome.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who else can you name that I can find a way to
Name drop.
name drop them?
Let's
No, I'm
see.
just joking. Mandy, do you do any of these shows like with a band? Is there?
Typically they've just been solo shows, somewhat out of necessity and you know, especially during COVID times. Years ago, or around the time that you and I first met, our friend Joe that introduced us was playing. We had a band. He was playing drums for me, and I had full band arrangements for, you know, a lot of my own songs, and I was just getting that going, and then I got sort of recruited into the Misses.
Right.
And so got really busy doing the Misses and kind of put my own solo original project on the back burner.
Do you guys wrote songs with them? We talked
Yeah,
about that.
we wrote. I mean, most of our songs we wrote.
Do they
together.
have a lot of fans?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's kind of hard to know now because we haven't
Yeah.
really done shows or anything recently. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a big following on Facebook, and you know, we had the Magic Mirror video had, you know, millions of views.
That's
on
the thing I
YouTube.
saw on the Today Show?
Yeah, it was on Good Morning America,
Okay, Good Morning America.
and you know, People Magazine and all kinds of stuff. It was this really cool experience where you would go up to a mirror and it would ask you how you felt about yourself, and then it would tell you how awesome you are and how beautiful you are, and it was kind of like just a positive thing for people.
I thought it was a nice thing.
Yeah, so that was kind of our band launch, and we toured and we played a lot of really cool venues all over the country and stuff, and you know, did some TV and radio and stuff. So it was a big learning experience for me as far as the music business and all the aspects that you know wrestle with. So yeah.
How do you feel about it now? Do you feel better having this autonomy that you have now? Do you feel comfortable in that space?
Well, I mean, there is something to be said. I've always been a person that loved playing in bands. I've always liked the team aspect of it, and the aspect of it's not all you, like it's like you're not kind of out there on your own by yourself. Mm-hmm. But as somebody who, you know, when I write songs, I have a pretty strong idea about how I think they should sound.
Yeah.
And so, you know, in a collaborative band environment, there's a lot of other input going on, and sometimes that's great, and sometimes and I'm not talking about the Misses specifically.
They're just in that.
But
yeah.
you know, I've tried to have bands with friends of mine who had certain ideas about their musical abilities versus mine, and thought that maybe they needed to fix my songs for me, and that wasn't always something that I welcomed, you know. So it just depends. But I'm excited at the prospect of putting together a band for my own original stuff again.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing that band.
Thanks.
I think that would be cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, man. People can find your single on the Outside, which is available now, the day that this comes out, and Keep Calm is available as well. There's also a video for it, which you did, and
check out my YouTube. Subscribe if you like it.
And if you're on Twitch and don't know Mandy Prater, you can check her out. She plays on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Saturday at 10 p.m. Those times are Central.
Yes.
Time zones. MandyPraterMusic.com is where you go for all the things. And go see her tomorrow, Saturday, October 23rd at the Three-Legged Goat at her release party in Pflugerville. Silent P, baby. Silent P.
Silent P.
And Friday the 29th, you'll be at Ski Shores. For those of you who do not go to Pflugerville.
It's down in the downtown Austin location on Barton Springs.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun.
It was great talking to you.
Yes.
I'm sorry it started off so weird with Rosie, but man, she really turned into a cool dog again.
Look at her. She's just laying on the floor.
She's just laying
chilling.
on the floor. Thank you for doing the show. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Wrong, but nothing's really right. I'm sitting in a tunnel.
Gang, that's Mandy Prater. Check out her single, On the Outside, available today, October 22nd. Wherever it is you stream and download your music, go to MandyPraterMusic.com for all of your Mandy Prater needs. And you can see her live tomorrow. If you live in Austin, tomorrow, Saturday, October 23rd, she will be playing at Three-Legged Goat. As I said, go to MandyPraterMusic.com for more show dates, times, and everything. I guess she's also going to be doing Twitch tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Should I be on Twitch? Should I get on Twitch? That's the big question. Any of you Twitch guys, reach out to me. Tell me why I should get on Twitch. I want to thank Mandy for coming by, and don't forget when you're out there checking out MandyPraterMusic.com or listening to her single On the Outside on Spotify or something like that, you can find our podcast, How Did I Get Here, wherever it is that you find podcasts. Shows are usually 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, but we've been doing 3 days a week the last couple of weeks, so those are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. New shows all the time, great conversations with amazing artists like Mandy Prater. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Overcast, Stitcher. Anywhere you find podcasts, you will be able to find How Did I Get Here. All right? Thanks so much for listening. Here's the rest of the song, On the Outside, by my friend Mandy Prater. Go check it out. It's out today. Have a great weekend. Let's get down.
We already won. You can meet me on the outside. Meet me on the outside. Put some Zeppelin on the stereo. Get the hell out of town. Racing down the back roads with no one else around. Let's go find that place again where we used to wait for trains and empty out this ruination rattling around my brain. 'Cause I just wanna run where I don't have to hide. Get into the sun, meet me on the outside before I come undone. I wanna take a ride. We already won. You can meet me on the outside. Meet me on the outside. How can this day get better? It's feeling like a shot in the dark. How can this day get better? When's the last time you just looked up at the No bars on these windows, but I've been locked away. And I just had this feeling I need to escape. 'Cause I just wanna run where I don't have to hide. Get into the sun, meet me on the outside before I come undone. I wanna take a ride. We already won. Meet me on the